Do you know how to answer the boss whenever he asks some questions, and how to be available to him with all your knowledge whenever he asks a question? Many of you whoever is sidelined by the boss or ignored by the boss time and again, they always think in this terms. So here is what I'll say, right? The first thing you should remember is that you are not the person who will always be taken for granted. So this is Sangeeta, and I'm a leadership growth mentor. And please put hashtag live if you are live, and if uh, please put replay if you are watching a recording of this, right? And there is a question I have towards the end as to what you will do under these circumstances when your boss expects you to be available to him with all your knowledge and still he will ignore. That has been his way of dealing with you. But let us have another perspective also as to how we can handle such situation. What I'll ask you to do is, the first thing is how to have an answer to anything. That means you have to be an omniscient, knowing everything. Is that possible? I think knowing in the perspective of your work, that is quite possible to at least 50% of the time. So nobody is asking you 100% to know about your work, but you should be knowing what you are doing, right? So the first thing is, your boss tends to catch offended. So whenever you are not very prepared, he comes and ask you a question, and you are not prepared for that. So you have to list down what all he is likely to ask you. So the first thing is the anticipation. I won't say that this happens from the day one 100%, but over a period of time, if you are focused on your work, what you are going to achieve, is this requires a special kind of mindset. When you are actually very focused about your work, you know what after what, then you can actually answer many of the questions that is usually asked. Whatever you are dealing, nobody else is supposed to know, or they are not in a position to know 100% of it. They will know only the outline, so they will ask about the outline only. So anticipate what will be those questions. The second thing is empathy. So empathy is such a quality in which you will read the other person's mind. It is as good as that. So how do you read another person's mind? If you are relaxed and if you have started studying the other person's psychology, then only you will know this. Every person has that capability to read another person's mind, especially when the person is a little critical about you. So but you have to stay positive, right? Otherwise he will end up in conflict, because he is a senior person also. Another colleague also is good to you, helpful to you at times. So avoid conflicts. Empathy is that state of mind when you are positive towards any question, anybody, any circumstances. So develop that. Then you will tend to know what the other person is about to ask. The third is presumptions. um, the other person is asking something, but you have assumed something which he is not going to ask. But might be you have some presumption about the all the time. You cannot be positive, right? What happens is, sometimes you are negative. Presumption is such a word. It is like when you assume something when you are not aware of your reality, and you are not able to anticipate properly. That is the presumption. So you presume that the boss is asking about something, but whatever he is asking, you don't have to be vague. You have to be very specific to whatever you are answering. Then that person will ask a second question. What are you talking about? So then, with a very peaceful mind, very calm state, you have to answer that you assumed that the question is about this, and that is why you answered this. If he is asking anything else, he will clarify. So your posture should be very calm. The third thing is deadlines. So everybody knows what a deadline is. So you are running against a deadline, after which your work is useless. So for that deadline, every report, every project, everything has a deadline, right? So if you are working along with that deadline, you should know what is due for today. So your boss is coming to ask you about that only. So that deadline you have to keep in mind. Many people, they actually ignore or they are not aware of these deadlines. So know that. Then the journey. How has been your experience? This is the best question that anybody can ask you. You have just concluded something and people are asking you about what has been your experience with regard to that. So you should be waiting for these kind of moments, and you should be well prepared also, because you cannot let go of that opportunity. It is a golden opportunity. You cannot go let go of that opportunity when you can describe whatever you have done in your work. So prepared well, it has to be very crisp, and it has to describe the critical aspects in a storytelling manner. So if you are well prepared, you can do that storytelling in just 2 or 3 sentences. If somebody demands for more, you can go about it, but to start with, you have to be always ready with 2, 3, or 4 sentences max. After that, people should ask, and then you should go about it. Don't go like rattling anything that you have mocked up. No. Then it is mostly a behavioral situation. What is your behavior towards the other person? And it is like it is a mm, it is a tool to checkmate you. So you should know if you are in a very negative frame of mind. If you are in a very negative frame of mind, it will irritate you, and that is the trap. That is the trap. So you should be very careful about these traps, and careful about all these things, and you only should bother about the things that is concerning you only that. And this is all about this. Hope this has been very helpful to you, and you will take advantage of whatever I told you today, and how it fits your workplace situation. That also you need to put below this video, so it will be helpful for each of us, me to explain more, and for you, if you have a question, then only you can have an answer. So that is how it is. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to put your comments below. Thank you.